Good evening everyone. साँझको 5 बज्ने बित्तिकै म तपाईको साथी सुदित श्रेष्ठ राइट सो सदा चाहिँ आज पनि उपस्थित भइसकेको छु यहाँको शो कल कान्तिपुर लिएर 5 बजेको 6 बजेसम्म यहाँको सामु र आज पनि केही न केही नयाँ टपिक नयाँ विषयवस्तु लिएर चाहिँ हामी उपस्थित भइसकेको छौँ सो पक्कै पनि 5 देखि 6 बजेसम्म यहाँले साथ दिनु र आज अलिकति स्पेशल पनि छ हैन हामीले बारम्बार हामीले अब हाम्रो छिमेकी राष्ट्र भारतसँग हामीले कुराकानीहरू गरिरहेको हुन्छौँ र आज पनि त्यही विशेष पनि छ र पक्कै पनि केही समय अगाडि भारतद्वारा चाहिँ आफ्नो छिमेकी राष्ट्र नेपाललाई चाहिँ एसएस प्याट दिएको थियो क्रिकेट किटहरू चाहिँ दिएको थियो प्रदान गरेको थियो सो त्यो सम्बन्ध हामीसँग आज किन छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामी एकैछिनमा यो विषयमा कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ र चाडबाडको माहौल त छँदैछ र त्यो सँगसँगै सकिने बित्तिकै एउटा विवाहको माहौल सुरु हुन्छ हैन तपाईको अब डेट्सहरू हेरेर यताउता हेरेर जब विवाह सम्पन्न हुने कतिजना चाहिँ यो वर्ष विवाह गर्ने सोचिराख्नु भएको छ कतिजना चाहिँ हुन्छ नि अब डेस्टिनेसन वेडिङ पनि कुरा आइरहेको छ अहिलेको समयमा अहिलेको जुन ट्रेन्ड छ एउटा डेस्टिनेसन वेडिङको बारे पनि आइरहेको हुन्छ अगाडि र किन आइरहेको छ भनेर हामी यही विषयमा अझ विस्तृत रूपमा कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ हामीसँग स्पेशल गेस्टहरू पनि हुनुहुन्छ उहाँसँग कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ अबाउट दिस डेस्टिनेसन वेडिङको बारेमा अनि नेपालमा के कस्तो खालको हुन्छ देख्नु भएको छ बिकज अहिलेको समयमा हामीले हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ लाइक लट्स अफ कन्ट्री जहाँ चाहिँ अब डेस्टिनेसन वेडिङ भनेर चाहिँ भइरहेको छ जस्तो कि थाइल्यान्ड बाली हैन मलेसिया मालदिभ्स लगायत थुप्रै राष्ट्रहरूमा चाहिँ यो निकै फेमस पनि छ र वाइ नट नेपाल किनभने हामीले बारम्बार भन्छ नेपाल यति प्रकृतिले हामी भौगोलिक हिसाबले चाहिँ यति धनी छौँ हामी हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ जताततै हुन्छ हरियाली खोला नाला हुन्छ नि पहाडहरू निकै नै सुन्दर छ हाम्रो देश नेपाल तर यसलाई चाहिँ एउटा टुरिज्मको वेमा एउटा वेडिङ टुरिज्मको वेमा कसरी हामीले प्रमोट गर्न सकिन्छ र के कस्तो कुराहरू चाहिँ गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने हामी यही विषयमा आज हामीले स्पेशल एपिसोड लिएर आएको छौँ हामीले कुनै पनि फोन कल चाहिँ अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ लिँदैनौँ तर हामीसँग गेस्टहरू चाहिँ पक्कै पनि हुनुहुन्छ उहाँसँग कुराकानी गर्नको लागि र उहाँले चाहिँ नेपालसँग जुन सम्बन्ध छ हैन भारतदेखि आउनु भएको छ नेपालमा यहाँ जुन सम्बन्ध छ एउटा छिमेकी राष्ट्रको सो त्यो सम्बन्धलाई अझ गहिरो बनाउन र यहाँको जुन यो विवाहको एउटा ट्रेन्ड छ त्यसलाई पुरै चेन्ज गर्नको लागि हैन केही हदसम्म चेन्ज गर्नको लागि चाहिँ उहाँहरू आउनु भएको छ सो पक्कै पनि उहाँसँग विस्तृत रूपमा हामी कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ लेट्स गो फर द भेरी फर्स्ट सङ र हेर्दै गर्नु होला कल कान्तिपुर विल बी राइट ब्याक Alright, welcome back after that wonderful song by Sajan Raj Vaidya हेर्दै हुन्छ कल कान्तिपुर 5 to 6 every single day र आज अलिकति विशेष पनि छ हैन किन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब यो तिहार सकिने बित्तिकै मङ्सिर पुस लाग्ने बित्तिकै माघ फागुन लाग्ने बित्तिकै बिहेको साइतहरू जोड्न जान्छ अनि बिहेको साइत जोडे लगतै हैन अब थुप्रै किसिमको प्लानिङहरू हुन सक्छ र त्यही प्लानिङहरूको विषयमा हामी कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ आज बिकज हामीसँग भारतबाट हाम्रो छिमेकी मुलुक राष्ट्र भारतबाट केही व्यक्तित्वहरू आउनु भएको छ सो उहाँहरूसँग कुराकानी गरौँ उहाँहरू किन हुनुहुन्छ यो इन्डो नेपाल 2023 भनेको स्पेसिफिकली के हो त हैन त्यो बारेमा कुरा गर्न हामीसँग हुन्छ समित गर्ग प्रेसिडेन्ट अफ EEMA and Maneesh Srivastav, president of Indo-Nepal Wedding Summit. So welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So first of all, I would like to ask Maneesh, sir. So how have you been so far?
I'm working in Nepal from last 9 years.
9 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
I faced lots of challenges, lots of things. I have seen like we have the more potential than somewhere in the Indian market compared to the rate, computer, like we have the connection with the culture also, we have the connection of the food also, we have the connection of the tourism also. These are the same.
And we have a connection of Bollywood too.
Yeah. Like we are in the same like India and Nepal. There is no difference. Like the people are going to the Thailand, Turkey, Dubai, but there are some changes. But here is the culture. Culture is the same. So I'm doing from last 9 years. I thought, why not grow this market more? Like in India, this wedding planning and the wedding market is so big, and we have the Everest here, we have the good food here, we have the good nature here. So why not we promote this destination as a call to all the Indian wedding planner and develop this market. That's why we plan this thing. And he is the like boss, my boss. I inspired him always, and I discussed with him. I invite him. Like I'm thinking like this. So he told me, it's a good initiative. Do it. That's why we are here.
So we can talk more with a boss, right? Yeah. Samit Garg. So you're the president of IMA. So actually, what is the full form of IMA? I'd like to know from you.
IMA stands for the Events in the Entertainment Management Association.
Okay.
it is the apex body of all live events and experiences business, weddings, etc., roadshows, ETLs, BTLs, everything that you can encompass in the 360-degree vertical of events is what comes under
package.
IMA. Yeah, so and we are not a very old organization, because as you would know,
so it's 24 years of experience.
The events industry overall is just about 30 years young,
Okay.
and we as an association are about 16 years young.
Okay.
So yeah, but we're getting there. It's a foot in the door now, which is gradually making its mark.
So this is our first time in Nepal?
I have been to Nepal almost 15, 17 times.
Okay.
And
for the business purpose, or like for the
mostly for business. It was only, I think, once that I came for a short holiday with a few friends and family.
So where have you been in that short holiday?
I went to Pokhara.
Okay.
And my first time to Kathmandu was then only, but thereafter mostly Kathmandu, actually all the times to Kathmandu for some work, either executing a project or coming here for a meeting.
So in short, I would like to ask you about the IMA, right? So you said like 16 years of experience overall. So when did you start? How did you start?
So
everything?
me personally, I have been in the events and the impresario business for almost 24 years now. And when we got into the business, the industry wasn't really that widespread. It was particularly a small market with just a handful of organized event companies operating in this space. So everything then was definitely less competitive, but the future that lied ahead, or the possibilities were endless. So that's the time I consider myself lucky to have been able to get into the business then, when one could actually decide what to do and just go ahead and do it. But today the market's very different. So there are many companies operating in different spaces, and as it so happens with the evolution of any industry or business, people are now gradually being able to find their niches. So somebody specializes in doing roadshows, somebody specializes in doing exhibitions, somebody is doing corporate events, somebody is doing weddings, so on and so forth. I think the business is absolutely beautiful, and the best for the business is yet to come.
All right, so you're planning for that?
I'm not planning for that. The world is planning for that.
Planning for that. All right. Yeah. So what about Maneesh sir? So when did you meet him? And like
I follow Samit boss from last 16 years.
16 years?
Yes. I discussed in the morning the same thing. Like I'm following him from last 16 years. And when this idea came in my mind to Indo-Nepal Wedding Summit, he is the first person where I put up all the thing. Like I have this kind of a thought. He given me a thought, like there is Everest. Take care. Do something for Everest. Take care. We are planning like to do some new concept, like a pre-wedding shoot, to promote the further pre-wedding shoot, because Everest is the only here only. And he's the only man जिन्होंने मेरे को guide, like he guided me कि do it. I am along with you, but do rightly, do with the big thought, and that's why like this summit is curated. And after that I went to Nepal Tourism Board. He supported a lot to me. Then of course the entire hotel association and the entire vendors of the society here in Nepal, the florist, the sound guy, everybody is supported to doing this, and everybody is happening. The Nepal is there is in Nepal, it's the first time happening the wedding summit.
Okay, very true. So wedding summit, like, it's a big day for every individual,
yes,
right? So wedding
yes,
is a very big thing for every individual. So how is everything going on?
Very
so
good.
You guys must have researched a lot for this summit, right?
It's going very good. Like as we discussed, Samit sir, initially, that is in the same direction going on, and I hope ki this will be the after this summit, this market will be bigger than the what exactly exists. And when we do the next year, definitely that will be the mega show.
Mega show. The planning is going on.
Yes.
So I would like to ask, like, Samit sir, so what are the difference in like Nepal and India you found in this particular business?
बहुत फर्क है.
So it's just
So I think the major difference is obviously in terms of the scale.
Okay.
You see, if I am correct with my numbers, Nepal is an ecosystem with about 30 million people.
True.
So 3 crores of population versus 140 crores of population, and look at the size.
Okay.
Look at everything. So obviously, you know, everything that one does to a great extent also depends on the ecosystem that one is surviving in. The overall economic landscape is extremely relevant and important, but that doesn't mean कि कुछ छोटा है या कुछ बड़ा है. As you rightly said a few minutes ago, that weddings is a once in a lifetime celebration, and वो एक ऐसा मौका होता है where all families, they just want to come forward and make sure that everything best is done for their children, for their family members, for their friends, because at least in the context of our cultures, both your country and mine, it is rejoice. It is I think the one of the most incredible formats of cultural celebration that is actually put onto the table, where everybody who's important to us or who has been important to us comes and participates. So from that point of view, whether a wedding is happening in Nepal or a wedding is happening in India is more or less the same. But from a scale standpoint, obviously, you know, the things are different, and it is extremely natural. But that doesn't mean that what happens there cannot happen here, or vice versa. And I think which is also one of the major emphasis points of the Indo-Nepal Wedding Summit, because I was researching a few numbers and statistics. Apparently about 150 destination weddings come to Nepal every year from India.
Wow.
And if we were, you know, globally there are certain forecasts which are done by an international institution called Allied Market Research. They predict the business of events and weddings to multiply by about approximately 3 times over the next 6 years.
3 times.
Yeah. So if we were to just simply follow that thumb rule, I think the number which is 150 can very well be 450 to 500
in few years,
in 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
Then the larger question that comes before all of us, are we ready?
That's exactly my question.
Are we prepared?
Yeah.
So it is formats like this, it is forums like this, you know, that they become relevant and instrumental, because जब तक कोई बताएगा नहीं, तब तक हम उसकी तैयारी कैसे करेंगे? And so this is thus how you get everybody who's relevant in the space to come together, to discuss, to strategize, to create you know, a constructive roadmap, so that there is preparedness for what is to come. If there is any correction that needs to be made, then those corrections are made. And you know, wedding is one word which also has a lot of love in it.
True.
And I don't want to be naming countries, but not all the countries emotionally are as strong as Nepal or India. So
That's a very true thing.
So you know, the aspect of love is very important, and because this is an important ingredient that goes into making a wedding. True. Because wedding is a happy celebration. So बहुत सारी बातें हैं. I can just go on talking and talking.
No, we can just like keep listening and listening, right? So such a wonderful thing you just like said.
So कुछ चीजें, you know, like for example, if I have to do let's say a marathon.
Okay.
To do a marathon, I would need some landscape which is conducive to a marathon. I cannot go inside a forest and do a marathon. So similarly, for every kind of an event that you want to do a nice international football match, you will not go to a small town to do an international FIFA. You will have to go to a town where there is necessary infrastructure that is available. So similarly, any or every kind of an event requires a certain kind of ingredient. सबको अलग-अलग चीज़ों की ज़रूरत होती है. तो जो एक बहुत important aspect है, जिस aspect को मैं emotion बोलता हूँ, or love, all of these things, which is a sentiment, is very predominant in our parts. So thus, you know, it provides us, as it is, an absolutely fabulous landscape to just go ahead and plan for something. There are material resources. Material resources are always organizable. कुछ यहाँ से आ जाएगा, कुछ वहाँ से आ जाएगा, कुछ नहीं है तो हिंदुस्तान से आ जाएगा. But you know, as Maneesh was also saying, And I heard you speak about that in Nepali in the opening part of the program, where you were talking of Nepal having natural beauty, Nepal having food and all of those things. So it's great. I think there is, by and large, a phenomenal opportunity that exists.
So I just want to ask you, like, in this matter, like, what do you think about, like, what does India doesn't have that Nepal have, and India have and Nepal doesn't have in this kind of scenario?
So what Nepal has and India doesn't have is a difficult one. But yes, to some extent I would say that at times, you know, simple is more expensive.
Okay.
And
That's Nepal have.
and Nepal has more simplicity
Yeah.
in terms of people, in terms of approach and attitude of people. And I think it doesn't mean that India doesn't have it,
Yeah.
but if compared between the two, शायद यहाँ के लोगों में वो मधुरता ज़्यादा है.
True.
And so that is one thing that comes to my mind. And what India has and Nepal doesn't have is there are many things, but what is relevant is, especially in the context of this subject, is resources, is ability to be able to handle the organization of large format events. And I remember I had come to Kathmandu some 10 years ago at that point in time to do probably one of the largest weddings that has happened in this country.
Yeah, it's
And
going.
I had some 37, 38 trucks that I had to get in from India.
Actually,
which
but
was a
Nepal is
nightmare, but yeah, so resources is one thing that I would say India has and Nepal doesn't yet.
True. So Nepal, I feel like Nepal spend lots of money in wedding, I guess. It's in number one. Right, so no matter how families, but they spend a lot of money in wedding, because as I said, every individual's dream is to have a big wedding and a good wedding, because it's a lifetime experience, right? So I'd like to ask Maneesh sir, so you've been researching since really long time, right? So what are the difficulties you face in Nepal doing this entire summit? So we must have felt like some difficulties in doing this thing. So what are the difficulties you faced?
Like from especially last from 5 years, what I was seeing ki like the client of Nepal called some wedding planner from the Delhi, Calcutta, Mumbai. After executing one event, they back to their home and वो बोलते they said कि अब नेपाल में काम नहीं करेंगे. Reason, less resources.
Okay.
And the wedding planner coming from all over the India came here to make their name and some money. Okay. But what happened with him? Somewhere his trucks stuck in the border.
Okay.
Somewhere he didn't get that kind of the services from the vendor. So end of day, the thought he want to execute it. He want to execute, he is not able to deliver. It happened with the many wedding planners.
Okay.
Then during the COVID, I thought ki do something for Nepal. So firstly, I have my registered company by Bowl Events Management Nepal Private Limited here. Firstly, I develop here that kind of the resources which the Indian wedding planner actually want, like furnitures, linens, chandeliers, everything we even put it here. And we put it the manpower from the India also to do the like to educate the people, because there is unskilled team members. So the senior man is from the India, he is giving the training to them, and now we are ready. When now the wedding planner came from the India, he can get everything from here. He need not to take as the boss said, he need not to take the 37 trucks. Even I did in the past 15 trucks, 12 trucks, and beforehand planning 15 days before planning, like truck has moved from the India, because we don't know ki wo 7 din like it will be stuck in the 7 days, 10 days, 2 days. So now that solution we came up here, and we have the full-fledged infrastructure here. Ki if somebody want to do the big wedding, so infrastructure is there, skilled manpower is there. So now you come, we are welcoming all the wedding planners from the India to discuss on these things, and so that we can do the easy process. when the EG process will be happen, the same wedding planner came here multiple times. When I started this business here, that time I was doing 4 wedding, 2 wedding. Now I am doing the 15-20 weddings in a year. But I don't have a capacity to do the 100 weddings in here. But here is the 150 weddings are happening in the year that we can't deliver. So what we want to do, we will support them, all the planners. You come with your thought process, okay? You discuss with your client. You talk to my person, you will get every solutions here. So the business will be the easy for everyone.
Okay. So you are there for guidance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyways, we will go for the short break. Right. So and we'll be right back after this short break. So enjoy this music video and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back after that short break. So without wasting much more time, we have Samit Garg, President of IMA, and Maneesh Srivastav, President of Indo-Nepal Wedding Summit. So it's going on, Indo-Nepal. So let's talk about that in a very short way. So what is exactly Indo-Nepal Wedding Summit?
Indo means India.
Yeah.
Nepal means Nepal. Okay. This is the thought process came like 2 nation, 1 celebration.
Well said.
Like a wedding celebration. There is the thought came in the mind, okay, let's put it a Indo-Nepal, where we exchange the culture, so we exchange the wedding thoughts also, meetings thought also. So how we can create a buzz where the Indian wedding planner and the Nepalese wedding planner come on the one single stage and they can cross question and they can exchange their thoughts like how we can create this market as a bigger market, because all the natural beauty is here, infrastructure is here, but the hotel like Salty and Hyatt, they are doing the 10-15 wedding in a year, and the Salty and Hyatt like a hotel in India, they are doing the 60-70 weddings in a year.
In India.
In India.
Right.
So it's just the thought exchange process, so that culture and food हमारा एक जैसा है, उसको हम अपनी जो हमारी एक्सपर्टीज है उन चीज़ों को एक्सचेंज करें, what the problem they are facing and how we can support them. So that's why this wedding summit is like Indo and Nepal.
So do you think like because in Nepal we haven't seen a trend like we don't hire a wedding planner actually, because everyone do a wedding in their individual way. They hire their own party palace, they hire their own like food, right? So do you think like Nepal is ready for that?
It is not like that. It is not like that. Even in India, in the early days, like where the weddings happen, so all the relatives come together and executed that wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Here that trend is coming after 10 years.
True.
Okay. Today in Nepal, every good wedding is doing by some of the planners. Okay. Either they are based in Nepal or based in the India. But of course, after a scale, they are calling all big planners from the India. So, and from the India, how many can come here? Every time come here. So better like we have to educate the local wedding planner will be upgrade than this, like that things will be better.
It will grow in a few years.
Yeah.
So Samit sir, so you have a more experience, right, so about this entire thing. So what do you think? Nepal is ready for this wedding planning things? Like what do you think? Like, or like how many years it will take for that?
I think everybody has always been ready for this.
Okay.
It is nothing new. You see, it is as you said, 25 years ago, you know, the chacha, the mama, the tau,
True.
the mami, they were all the event managers in a family. The halwai used to come and do the food. It is just that it has become more compartmentalized now. So we were always looking for external help. It is not that a father and a mother were doing the wedding by their own hands. They had help within the family. What started to happen is that the families have started to become smaller.
True.
And you're still seeking help. Earlier you were not paying for that help because the help was coming within the family. Today you are paying for that help. And the concept of valuing time has also become relevant.
True.
As, let's say, as a father of the bride, if I have to give in 6 hours a day for 1 month, I would value that time vis-a-vis the effort that I have to put in. And I say that, boss, number one, I am not an expert in this space. I don't know how to do it. And I will invest so much of time. And in that kind of time, if I invest in my business, I will end up making this amount of money. Might as well get a professional agencies to do it. So the concept always existed. People were always wanting to. But, you know, evolution as a process takes time. कोई भी चीज़ परिवर्तन जिसको हम बोलते हैं, उसको अर्पण करने में, उसको implement करने में time लगता है. So it is basically that process which is ongoing. And it is directly related to the development of a nation. So if I look at the Western world, they are running 25 years ahead of us in terms of development. So they embraced the concept 50 years before. In India, we started embracing the concept only 25 years ago. Here we started embracing the concept only 5 years ago.
True.
It always existed. It's just about how beautifully and rationally has something been packaged and presented to a family on the table. So people were always ready.
Okay, that's very true. Like everyone is ready. Everyone to do like in a beautiful way. So at last, we are like very ending our show, right? So Samit sir, I would like to ask like after like going in many countries, right? So you have been doing this in many countries and a few more countries as well. So what is the special thing about Nepal? Why you want to do in Nepal? Why you choose Nepal? I would like to ask.
You like to hear compliments very often, is the impression that I am getting. As I said, see, so there are a few basic reasons. कहते हैं ना, घर में अंदर जब कुछ है तो घर के बाहर झाँक के देखने की जरूरत क्या है.
True.
So Nepal is not a foreign country for us.
True.
It's like a sister state.
Yeah.
And you get onto a flight from Delhi, in 90 minutes you land in a beautiful city which is called Kathmandu. So proximity is something which is for me a very, very important factor. Weather is something which actually is the second aspect, which I would say is extremely important, because even in summers you do not get very hot temperatures. The evenings are very, very pleasant. And the cultural similarity is something which is very important. And in the context of an Indian wedding, आप कहीं भी जाते हैं ना, you want that warmth, whether it is from you know, a butler in a hotel, or a captain in a restaurant, or somebody who's driving your vehicle, or even somebody who's pulling your luggage. So that warmth is there in the people, which is what I spoke of a few minutes ago.
True.
So all of these, the quality of food that is stitched here, created here, is again very similar to us. The overall mythological system is very, very similar. हम सबके लिए वही भगवान हैं. So there are many similarities which actually create Nepal as you know, a phenomenal opportunity for many families who do not want to travel from India to faraway destinations. I don't want to take a flight and go 8 hours away. I don't want to take a flight and go 4 hours away. But if I have a proposition which is given to me, which is just 2 hours away, why not? So these are the opportunities, and which is exactly what this endeavor is wanting to look at and put on the table to everybody.
So very well said, sir. So Maneesh sir, like I would like to say at the end, what do you want to say to all the audience over there, like who's watching us live?
It's a time for Nepal, number one. And I would say thank you to Tourism Board. When I put up our initiative, they all supported us. I will thank you to Megha ji from Rasa. They supported to me. And the entire concept and thought process taken care sportly by the Hotel Association. I am promising you, after having the all across the world forum, I could say that now it's a time for Nepal.
Very well said, sir. So at last, Samit sir, if you want to say something to our audience, whatever you feel like, just it's your time, in short and sweet.
So number one, thank you Nepal for having us here in this absolutely beautiful landscape, and thank you for being patiently listening to us there. And हिंदुस्तान की तरफ से आप सभी लोगों को नमस्कार. और I'm somebody who always looks at the half full glass and never the half empty. So I think that there is a phenomenal opportunity that lies ahead, whether it is in terms of the business of weddings or it is in terms of the business of events, MICE, conferencing, whatever you may want to call it. But overall, the business of events has a huge future lying ahead in front of us, and this is a shout out specifically to all the younger audiences in this country. I think, you know, it is not what it used to be 20 years ago. There are some great opportunities for career building that are there in the business of events. So for any of you who like the busy side of life, who like you know, to ride on the high flowing adrenaline, I think this is a business for all of you to get in, stand up and participate with us in this absolutely phenomenal journey that lies ahead. Thank you.
So which is going on till November 4th, right? So look, venue, where is it going on? Like
it's happening in the Salty tomorrow,
Salty.
like 2 to 4 p.m. It's like B2B session, and after that the 5 o'clock the meeting, conference, discussion will start.
So thank you so much, sir. So it was a pleasure having you. And yes, we had like Samit Garg, president of IMA, and Maneesh Srivastav, president of Indo-Nepal Wedding Summit. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So we'll go for the short break, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much for having.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here.
Thank you. Alright, welcome back after that short break. पक्कै पनि आजको एपिसोड यहाँलाई केही न केही उपयोग भयो होला हैन, पक्कै पनि सुन्नुभयो होला. सो वेडिङ प्लानको तपाईलाई केही एउटा हुन्छ नि जान्नु मन छ भने यु क्यान गो देयर एन्ड have a lots of knowledge, right? So यति भन्दै हाम्रो चाहिँ जाने बेला भइसकेको छ. We'll be back tomorrow 5 to 6 भन्दै म सुदित श्रेष्ठलाई सम्पूर्ण टिम बिदा माग्न चाहन्छु. Keep watching Kantipur TV SD. Bye bye.